Okay, let's work on these other filters here. So I'm only going to do a few here, but realistically, if this app goes to production, there should be more here. So let's go ahead and define them in our view first. So let's go to the ideas index, and the default one would be no filter. So let's do that one first. And there's no database here for the filters, so we can just hard code each one here. So let's do one for top voted. So this would be the most voted of all time. We can do others too, like most voted recently or most popular recently. But for this one, we'll just stick to most voted of all time. And the other one I want to do is my ideas here. So I'll say my ideas. And like I said, that's okay for now, but realistically, there should be more if this app goes into production. Let's also add a wire model like we did for the category. So let's grab this and we can put one for filter. Okay, so now let's go into our ideas index and let's make a new one for filter. And let's make a new query string for filter as well. Okay, and that looks good. So we can do pretty much the same thing as our category here. So we need a new when clause. So let's grab this one and let's paste that one in here. And this will be, let's get rid of this use statement. We don't need this. And this one will be for filter. So let's replace category with filter. Okay. So the default is no filter. So let's change this. Actually, we need separate when clauses for each filter. So instead of not equals, let's say equals and then take care of this case. So this case would be, say, top voted, and then we can work on the query here. So all we have to do is change this to order by descending votes count. And we have this votes count column because we're doing the with count over here. So that should work if I did everything correctly. So let's go ahead and try that out. So this should sort by the most voted if I select it. And it looks like it does. Cool. Actually, let me make sure. So I'm going to vote for one of these. So it has 21 votes and I want to make sure that's on top. So let me just sign in here. Okay. And let's vote for one of these. Actually, I already voted for all of the 20s, so I can't vote for one of these. So I have to make a new user. So let's do that actually. So let me log out, register a new user, say user. Okay, let's register this new user and let's go ahead and vote for one of these. So let's just say this one. Okay, and now let's set the filter to top voted and the 21 is on top. So just like before, this should work with the other filters as well. So if I want top voted for all categories in category 1, just select category 1 here. And you see the query string is updated as well for this new filter. Okay, let's work on the next one. So the next one is my ideas. So just list every idea that I've posted. And you have to be logged in for this. So let's take care of that. So I am logged in now. So let's work on that one first. So again, we're just going to have another when clause right here. So when the filter is defined and the filter is my ideas. And this one is pretty straightforward. We just have to say query where the user ID is the person logged in. And we'll make sure the user is logged in a second after I do this. So auth ID. And this should work. So let's try this. Let's go back to the default. So I'll just go back to the home page and I am signed in and I should have no ideas here. Actually, I'm going to sign in as my other account, but let's just see. So yeah, there's nothing here. So let me log out and log in as my other account. Okay. And again, let's try that out. My ideas. And there we go. Here are all the ideas that I've posted. Cool. Okay, let's sign out here and make sure to redirect to the login page if we're not signed in. And we select that filter. So we can add a method here. Let's put it after this. Let's say updated filter. So anytime we update the filter or anytime the filter variable is changed, we can run this method. So first we can check if this filter So if this filter is my ideas, then we can check if the user is logged in. So if they're not logged in, so if not auth check, then go ahead and redirect to the login route. Okay, so this should work hopefully. I actually think we don't need this param here, so let's try this out. So we're not logged in. Let's try my ideas, and we are redirected here to make sure we are logged in to use that filter. So now when we try to hit that, it should work. Cool. So yeah, that's basically it. And as before, this should work with these other filters as well. So for example, the category, my ideas that are category 3, there should be only 2. So yeah, that's basically it. If you wanted to add more filters, you can just add a new clause here in our query. And that's pretty much all you have to do. So since this video isn't very long, let's go ahead and handle testing here as well. So I'm just going to grab the test that we did for the categories, and we'll just base it off of that. So duplicate, let's call it, what is this? Other filters test? Yeah, that's fine. Other filters test. Okay. Let's name it other filters test. And what's the first test we want? Let's see if the top voted filter works. So let's start with that. Top voted filter works. So let's make a few users here because we have to add some votes for them. So user, user B, and user C. Categories are fine, status is fine. Let's add a few ideas here. So we have idea 1, and let's add idea 2. Actually, idea 2 is already here, okay? And I'm also going to add some votes here. We don't need idea 3 here. So I'm going to paste it in to save some time. Let's import vote. And we have 1 vote for idea 1, a second vote for idea 1, and 1 vote for idea 2. So idea 1 should be top voted. So we can do something similar here. Make sure to import Livewire. Actually, it's already there. So we're setting the filter to top voted. Okay. And like I said, there should be 2 here because there are only 2 ideas. So let's try that first. So I'm going to delete this. Let's put a semicolon here and let's try this one out first. Actually, let me remove these other tests here. Okay. And let me run this test. See if it works. And it does work. Let's add a few more conditions here. So let's say, and ideas first. So the first idea, so this one, so the one at the top should have a votes count of 2 because that's what we specified for our setup. So we can do this and it should be equal to 2. Let's try that. Should work. Let's run our test. Okay, and the next one should have a vote count of 1. So let me duplicate this. So that would be the next one, which there was a second method here, but there isn't. So we can do get 1, and same thing. Get 1 votes count should be 1. Let's run this, and we are passing. So if I were to comment out one of these votes, this test should fail because the vote count is incorrect. So let's run this, it should fail. Okay, cool. Okay, let's work on the next test, and that's going to be testing the My Ideas filter. Okay. So let's say My Ideas filter works correctly when user logged in. And we'll handle the other case when we're not logged in after this one. So we only need 1 user. Actually, no, let's have 2 users here. So let's change this to B. Let's have 3 ideas here. So we have 2 so far. Let's make 1 more. Idea 3. Okay. And say the first 2 belong to user 1. And then the third one belongs to user 3. So let's go ahead and make our assertions. We don't need any votes. Let's remove this as well. So we have to be logged in, so we can use the acting as method. So acting as the first user, we can test this component. Let's set the filter to my ideas. Okay. And the count should be 2 as well, because the first 2 belong to user 1. Actually, let me change these names here. So my first idea, my second idea, and my third idea. Okay. So this one should be on top for this user because it's the most recent one. So we can assert against that. Let's change this. So the title should be my second idea. And then the next one should be my first idea. Okay. Let's get rid of this one, and this should pass, hopefully. And it does not. Oh, sorry. There should be get 1, so the second one. So let's remove this. Get 1. Let's try that again. And it does pass now. So next test is the same as this one, but we just have to assert that it redirects back to the login page because we're not logged in. So let's duplicate this. My ideas filter works correctly when user is not. Okay. And we can leave this. We can remove the acting as because we are not logged in. And we can remove this. We can just assert redirect to route login. And let's go ahead and try that out. And it does work. And let's do one more, and that one's going to be if it works with the other filters. Again, there's several cases for this, but I'm okay with just testing one case. So let's go ahead and do that. So my ideas filter works correctly with categories filter. Okay. So 2 users, 2 categories, 1 status, and 3 ideas. So the first one is category 1 with status open. So this one is the same, but for this one, let's change this one to category 2. Actually, let's change it to user as well. So we actually don't need the second user. So let's put the acting as back, acting as user. Okay. And we are testing. So let's set the filter to my ideas and also the category to category 1. Okay. So category 1, that are my ideas. And let's grab the assertive view has from up here as well. So let me just grab this and paste it down here as well, instead of this. Okay, so my ideas that are category 1. So there should be 2, because this one's category 2 and they're all the same user. So the count should be 2. The first one should be my second idea. So this one, and then the next one should be idea 1. So this should work, hopefully. And it does. Cool. Oh yeah, one more thing that I forgot, I think, was to reset the pagination if we select a different filter. So let's go back to our ideas index. And we already have it for this, for updating the category. We can do the same for updating filter. So let's remove this and it should work. So again, let me not save it to show you what I'm talking about if you forgot. So let's just reset this. So let's say top voted, and then we'll go to the second page. And then if I were to go to my ideas, I think it's going to be empty because it's going to try to go to my ideas second page, but that does not exist. Okay, so that's the expected behavior. So if we save this, it will reset the page. So back to top voted. Let's go to my ideas, and it should reset back to the first page. And it does. Cool. And maybe we can do one more for the no filter. So I guess we can do that. So we will grab not this test, but the one before. Not this one, this one here. So let's grab this one and let's name it something like no filters works correctly. So let's rename this no filters works correctly. So we just need one user. That's fine, that's fine. We have 3 ideas. We don't need this acting as. Let's test the ideas index. And I set the filter to, what was it, no filter? No filter. And this should return all of the ideas. So 3, let's just change this back to the original user. So this should be my 3rd idea because this is the latest one. And then the second one should be my 2nd idea, if I'm doing this correctly. And let's go ahead and test that out. Okay, so it is working. So yeah, this is the case when it doesn't even go into those when clauses because it doesn't equal any of our other filters. So it doesn't see this, it doesn't see this, so it just ignores these completely. So yeah, I think that's a good place to commit. What is this? Episode 29, git add, git commit, episode 29, let's say other filters.